You're listening to the Survivors to Thrivers podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about being normal. Now, that might not describe you. It sure doesn't describe me. But normal and abnormal are really important. Stay tuned. If you're a survivor of violence and are ready to get control of your life again, you're in the right place at the right time. This is the Survivors to Thrivers podcast with your host, Cranford Blackman. Hey everybody, Cranford here. Welcome back to another episode of Survivors to Thrivers podcast. And today we're going to talk about being normal and maybe being not so normal. Now, generally we think of normal as being good, right? It's the kind of life we want overall. We want to have a normal day, a normal life, nothing too bizarre, nothing too uncomfortable, nothing too strange, right? Well, sometimes we also think of normal as a bit boring. You know, if you were to look at the people that I enjoy hanging out with, they might not seem quite normal. And so if you're one of my close friends, there's a good chance I think of you as abnormal. But you probably think the same of me. And that's okay, because abnormal isn't always a bad thing. You see, normal is one of those things that we like in our life because it makes us feel safe, it makes us feel comfortable, but abnormal can also help us a lot. When we see something abnormal, it tells us something's going on, and it can be something that helps us be safer in our life. Safer in our life, or more successful. And more successful is nice. Of course, safer is too, isn't it? Now, as we talk about being normal for safety and for success, I want you to understand that in using normal, I'm not describing you this time. What we want to talk about is the normalcy of your environment, or the people in that environment, the people that are around you. Now, as I said a few minutes ago, normal can be nice, but abnormal, let's not look at that as bad. It can be quirky and fun, but let's look at abnormal things in our environment as a helper, something that can really take care of us. It can not only help us find more success, it can be a lifesaver. So what am I talking about here? Let's look at a couple of examples just so we can really grasp the importance of both normalcy and things that are abnormal. Let's say that maybe you noticed your spouse is acting odd. Maybe they're quieter than usual. You know, maybe we might enjoy that extra quiet for us, but to look at our spouse, it's important to look at them and go, something has changed. They're normally really talkative. They're normally very upbeat. That's normal for them. That's our experience of normal with our spouse. So when we see something a little bit different, maybe they're quiet now, we need to find out what's going on. That can let us know that our spouse is hurt, or they're afraid, or they have some sort of challenge going on that even if we can't help them with, we can certainly be a support with them, or we can certainly be a support for them. Another person that's really important where we might want to notice something abnormal is our children. Now, if you've had children before, you know that your entire world while they're young and growing up can seem kind of abnormal. But when you understand what your children normally do, that's a great thing, because that abnormal activity, that weird thing that they're doing, can tell you a lot. A child that suddenly has a new imaginary friend, or they suddenly become very quiet, it could mean something's going on at school or with a friend, whether they're feeling unsafe or something bad has happened to them. And we know it's always terrible when a child is afraid to talk to us, especially because their friend said, you have to promise to not tell your mom or dad about this. Well, we know as an adult that's not a real friend. that's somebody trying to manipulate and control your child. And it may be an adult, or it may be just maybe a classmate or some friend that they have in the neighborhood. But it's important to notice those differences, just as well as it's important to notice when their face is flushed. Maybe they haven't been out in the yard playing. Boy, do kids play in the yard anymore? Anyway, if they come back in and they've been running, sure, their face is flushed. But if they've been inside all morning, it could indicate an illness or a fever. So that's important to notice too. It's an abnormality out of what we usually see with them. Another really practical situation for being able to notice what's abnormal is with our pets. Now, I'm a dog kind of a guy. Not I'm like a dog, but I like dogs. So when my dogs come in from the yard, they've been out playing for a little bit. One of the things that I really pick up on quickly, because I know what they've done in the past, is how do my dogs smell when they're coming in the door? Because one of them tends to find stuff on the ground, I won't even be specific, and she sure thinks that she needs to roll in it to make me love her more. And I've tried to explain to her that's not the case, but I don't know, she doesn't really seem to pick up on it. Or the smell of something rotten because the dogs found something. I live out in the country, so they're out in the woods playing, and when they find something that they decided was a snack that may have been laying out there in the field for a couple of days, well, that certainly has an aroma that I don't want in the house. So what's normal for them is, how do they smell? Clean, nice, but suddenly they smell like roadkill. Yeah, I don't want them coming in. We've got to go out and get the hose. Practical and very important, right? What about at the workplace? How does abnormal things, or how does seeing something that's out of the ordinary help you out? Let's just say that maybe you work in a company and you have a friend who works on the creative team, the design team, or whatever. And the two of you normally get together for breaks or have lunch together, and she's just not available for you this week and hasn't mentioned anything to you. Not that she's being mean, she's just not there for you. You've seen her at work. Well, that's odd, right? Because you guys are besties, you love each other, and she's just not there for you right now. Not normal. Maybe there's a big project going on that you could assist with. Maybe the creative team is short-handed and it's something that you wanted to get in on. Maybe you would like to be part of the creative team, and noticing that she's not available because she's working so much this week might give you the hand up and an opportunity to walk into the boss and say, hey, I'd like to help. I'm a creative person and I'd like to help out on this job. Now, it can also help you, of course, in situations of safety. And, we can talk about this all day. There are so many different ways where things that are out of the ordinary can help you stay safe. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about one thing here. And let's talk about a bad guy, a kidnapper, or any bad guy who's bothering you, accosting you, trying to get control of you, whatever. Now, we know how people normally walk and move. We're used to seeing it. We live in a world of humans. Some of them don't always act like humans, but you know what I'm saying. We're used to what people look like, how they act, how they move. So if the person that's bothering you, maybe you recognize that they're limping or that they favor one leg over the other when they walk. Now, maybe that doesn't seem like much, but it is out of the ordinary, and it's out of the ordinary enough that it can give us an opportunity to get away from that person. If the bad guy has a limp, that means running might be difficult, jumping, climbing might be difficult. So when you are escaping, if you recognize that, you can climb over stuff, get over things where he would have to use his leg to catch up with you, and it will slow him down. Or maybe his balance would be lessened because of a leg injury or a hurt leg. Or maybe he even has a prosthetic. Yep, surely enough, a bad guy can have a prosthetic too. And it's okay to use that to your benefit to keep yourself and the people you love safe. But if you don't notice it, how can you use it to help you escape? So A bad leg might mean a shove gets them off balance. They fall down. You're able to get away. There's so many different things that you could notice. If they're leaning their head towards you every time you speak, or anytime someone speaks, they turn a certain ear towards you, that might mean that this ear has hearing problems. So if you were to try to run up behind them, it'd be better to run up on this side because they don't hear that well. It'd give you a greater chance of success in protecting yourself and keeping yourself safe. Now you can see that finding what's out of the ordinary, what's not normal, can help you be safer and even help you be more successful and help you take care of your family or keep stinky animals out of the house. But how do you know what's abnormal if you haven't focused on what normal is in your environment? Now, we already have a general idea of what's normal, but becoming more aware of what's normal gives us a baseline so that when something is abnormal, above or below the baseline, we notice it quicker. That's one of the reasons that I talk about situational awareness so much. Situational awareness is what will help you recognize what's normal everywhere, in your car, at work, with your teachers, with your employer, at your place of worship, anywhere. Being more situationally aware on a conscious level will help you to recognize what is normal. And when you have a greater understanding of what's normal, that abnormal thing will stand out much quicker to you so that you can use that to make your life better, safer, happier. Okay, so I don't want you to get bored with situational awareness. It is so extremely important to build that skill within you. So when you see that I've got another video up about situational awareness, don't roll your eyes. Go ahead and click on it. Pay attention to it. I'm creating these so that you and your children and your parents and your friends can be safer. Because if they're not situationally aware, at least you can be. So learn to pay attention. Learn to see what's normal so you can see what's abnormal. Plus, seeing what's abnormal in somebody might help you find that brand new bestie, right? Because the weird people, those are the fun ones. So anyway, I'm glad that you were here with me today. Let me know in the comments below about the times where something abnormal you saw ended up really helping you. Was it something, a weird feeling that you felt in the car, or an odd taste in that first bite of a meal? Yeah, we know how that can be, right? Did I just go like that for no reason? I think I did. But that's okay. Was that abnormal? For you, maybe. For me, it's kind of normal. So I'd love to hear your comments. Share with me and the rest of the LabCalf tribe so that they can learn from your experience as well. I hope you really got a lot out of this episode. The understanding of what's normal and abnormal is so important in your life. I hope that you'll share this video with your friends, with your family members, especially those who might be survivors of violence. Because once again, as survivors to thrivers, we're trying to move from being afraid of our life, of being not in control, to being more of a master of our environment and what we do and how we experience life. That's how we become thrivers. So please do share it. Give me a thumbs up on the video to help other people find me. Share it with your friends and family. And then go on over to my website, labcalf.com. That's labcaf.com. And take a look at the articles there, okay? Look around, check out the resources. And at the time of this recording, I am doing some work on the site, but all the articles are available. So please do take a look. They will help you be safer. And share that with your friends. Go ahead and get on my emailing list. I only send something out about once a week just to let you know that there's a new video up or a new article. So until next time, as we keep moving from survivors to thrivers, this is Cranford Blackman reminding you to stay safe and stay strong. See you next time.
To make sure you never miss an episode of Survivors to Thrivers podcast, subscribe at labcalf.com.
It's we're going to talk and abnormal. Yep, I think common everyday to. I hope this episode really talked to you. Well, I talked to you.